Hello, everybody, and welcome into the B&T Sports Talk Show. And we are your hosts. I am T, and next to me is B. And of course, we're going to cover all the great things that happened this week in the worldwide of sports, and keep folks updated. And if this is your first time listening to us, we do appreciate you subscribing to us. Go ahead and hit the like button, hit the notifications button. It all works. Please do all three. We appreciate it. Well, B, I'll get it started off, man. How first off, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Another weekend in the books. Not a lot to talk about tonight. Hopefully, hopefully you doing well. Are your kids getting ready for back to school?
Yeah. So a little background. I came sliding into home and just been out all day, or not all day, but we were out getting things done. And my kid's son's going back to school tomorrow, so it's time to spend all the money on shoes and clothes and all this, all notebooks, pencils, all the good stuff. So hopefully, I'm sure there's some other parents out there that can relate. Um, it's a fun time though. It's kids they need to be in school. That way they can get out of my house. Works for me. Whatever.
It's kind of like when it comes to Christmas shopping, you're doing all that last minute Christmas shopping.
Yeah, of
Kind of like
course. Yeah.
the remaining pickings of back to school stuff on the shelves here.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So
Exactly. Yeah. And then notebooks. $5. I think I paid $6 for pencils today. I don't even know why everything is so expensive. It doesn't
Jesus,
make any sense.
you
Uh,
wouldn't think it's inflation off of pencils?
I
Come
don't know,
on
man.
now.
I guess the trees. There's not enough trees. B. I don't know what's going on around here.
I guess so.
Yeah,
Jeez.
man.
But
Well,
well,
let's.
hey, let's get into it here. Let's talk about your Raiders, man.
Yeah, another preseason game in the books, and the Raiders come away with a win. They beat the Rams 34-17 today. Yay! I don't know how big of a
Oh,
deal
that
that
was that was
is.
that was yesterday, dude.
Oh, yesterday. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Yesterday.
Yeah.
It was yesterday, folks. Not today. But I got to see Jimmy G play a little bit, and mostly highlights. He looked pedestrian. He looked all right. He made one play where he had a guy going right, about to sack him, and he kind of dead ducked it over the top of the defense and got it to a sliding defender. So I mean that was a good play.
It
Um,
was a typical Jimmy G off of his back foot throw, to say
yeah,
the
it was.
least.
It died. It died, but luckily the wide receiver got up underneath it, so it still looked like he made a good play because he was about to get sacked for sure. So
Sure
I
was, man.
I don't think there's anything that kind of points to Jimmy G being the savior or anything. He didn't come out and burn down the house with how he was playing. Of course, that's not necessarily what you expect from preseason games. Devontae Adams did not play, so missing one of his strongest offensive players. So of course, as we go through the preseason, or really at this point, there's only one more to go, and I think we just have to wait to the regular season to really see how this plays out. The one thing I did want to talk about is, I've been watching some of the Raider talk shows and things on the news, and a lot of people are starting to talk about this Aiden McDonald guy, and he did play very well in that first game and showed some promise. The Raiders drafted him last year, I believe, and I kind of I'm kind of surprised to see it, and it kind of makes me sad, and I'll tell you why. Because the last thing as a Raider fan I want to see is the same situation that Jimmy G went through in San Francisco, which was every guy that's behind him was better than him, and that's kind of what happened with the 49ers. No matter who the backup was, Trey Lances of the world, I forgot who, there was another guy whenever he got
Dude,
hurt.
I wouldn't
There's
even
a,
put Trey Lance in that
yeah,
conversation,
well,
man.
there are some other
Let's not
quarterbacks.
let's not do that just
Purdy,
yet.
Purdy. I forgot. Was it Mullins? No, who was it? There was another guy.
Mullins wasn't better than Jimmy G.
No, he
I gotta
wasn't
give Jimmy
better.
G
He wasn't
a
better,
little bit of
but
credit. Gotta
but
give
when
him a
he got
little.
when he got hurt, the conversation always came up. There was always a discussion about how good he was as a starting quarterback. And the 49ers are a much better team. So maybe that's not going to happen with the Raiders, because I don't know if the expectations are that high for the Raiders at this point. But I did find it interesting that there was a lot of discussion about this quarterback, about the rookie quarterback, and kind of fearful, man. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow he gets hurt and this kid actually gets a chance to play. And I don't know, man. I feel I just really
I
hope that the hype of these guys kind of this guy dies down. I really want to see if Jimmy G is any good or not. Even though I got to be honest with you, I keep feeling like I'm watching the Patriots West. With Jacoby Myers out there catching balls from, Jimmy G, and the former offensive coordinator obviously is a coach. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, B, what do you
I
think, man? Do you think there's a chance that
there
this causes some disruption?
no, not at all. This is Jimmy G's team. They invested in him. Obviously, got to a rough start with the whole foot thing, but they're invested in him. So you're gonna have to ride this one out here. Now, we talked about it. Getting rid of Darren Waller, not having Josh Jacobs, part of this lineup. That's really going to handcuff him as a quarterback here, because you need playmakers in the NFL nowadays. And now that he only has technically Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfro, you know that's not really a big core to really work around. You don't know what you're going to get out of Zamir White this season, because
No,
let's face it,
he's a
it's
rookie,
his
man.
first. It's going to be his first full year, so
Yeah,
you'll see what he can get. But you got to give him his shot here. Do I think he's a winner? Yes, I honestly think he is a winner, and he should be able to hold it down there. But 4 for 4, you can't judge a season off of 4 passes. It's tough. We can sit here and say he went 4 for 4. He looks ready for the NFL season, but he's not. But they got to protect him because of the foot thing. So
right,
he's not
right.
going to see a whole lot of playing time, and I don't think Devontae Adams is going to come back until the
At
season
all.
starts.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're gonna have to really. This is gonna be a wing it kind of season for the Raiders here, where you don't know what to expect here. You can't call for a backup quarterback. You're not gonna get another Brock Purdy. Dude, that's a diamond in the rough right now. Like, that is the definition of diamond in the rough. But the Raiders got themselves a decent quarterback. There's not a lot of weapons that are going to be around, so he's really going to have to really step his game up, because in San Francisco he had weapons.
yeah.
You know,
Uh,
Here he doesn't have those weapons there, so you got to give him his opportunity to lose the job, to say the least. This is his
yeah,
job to lose. I don't think even after 2 games you need to be calling for it. It's an 18-week NFL season,
yeah.
so
It's
a slow start by week 4 is not going to hurt you, because you can pick things up. By week 10, you'll know what kind of team you have.
Yeah, and the other thing is, this is the Raiders we're talking about. I don't know if you remember, but they gave Derek Carr a 3-year big time contract or extension or whatever. That wasn't that long ago. That was only like maybe a year or two ago. So I mean,
Yeah.
my hope is that the direction of the team, they stick to it, and hopefully find a way to get some type of consistency out of the quarterback and whoever else they put out there. Because like I said, man, the Raiders have taken a couple of different moves in different directions. There's been so many dang coaches for the Raiders over the past 10 years. It's ridiculous. So hopefully, I mean, obviously Daniels, Garoppolo are going to get an opportunity this year, especially next year, to get through it, unless somehow Garoppolo ends up on that injury report for longer than 1 or 2 games. Then in which case, if it cramps the season, then then the next season, not this season, but the following season might be I'm being a little pessimistic here, but might be a make it or break it. They're going to need to see something from him. They're going to need to see some type of improvement. And I
Hmm.
just feel bad for the guy, because, like you said, Josh Jacobs, in all likelihood, probably, I don't even know if he's going to play in the Raider uniform again at this point. And Devontae Adams obviously is big, but I've seen stories about Devontae Adams saying things about the offense as far as how difficult it is, and trying to, and about, he made some comments about Josh Jacobs not being there, and how that kind of cramps the offense. And I don't know, man. I'm not getting like this sense of, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna knock down everybody that steps in front of us. It kind of feels a little bit like, I don't know. I kind of I get a lot of question marks from this team. I don't know if I'm feeling, but like you said, B, it's only the preseason, so we'll get into the regular season. We'll see how it goes. Um,
Yep.
we talked about Josh Jacobs. I'll bring that up again. Still not there. Still not on the field. Still holding out. The Raiders are left with only a couple of options, I guess. If he continues to hold out for this season or partial through the season, they still have that franchise tag sitting on the table for him to make that $10 million. There are some from what I've seen just in reports and stuff. All the ESPN garbage and all that is that there are some teams snooping around. There's Chiefs, especially, as being one of those teams trying to see what the situation will shake out to see if it's possible that he can either be traded or if they decide to rescind his offer, which I doubt. I don't know if they'll do that. Rescind his franchise offer and make him a free agent. That doesn't make any sense. They won't get anything for him. So I think it's more likely for him to be traded. But
Yeah.
in any case, what do you think, B? What do you think is going on with this Josh Jacob thing?
Well, I mean, you mentioned reports. You got two teams interested, and they happen to be in the same division
Yeah,
as the
Chiefs and
Raiders.
Broncos. Yep.
The Chiefs and the Broncos have shown interest in Josh Jacobs here. Now, obviously, it's going to come with a price tag. Josh Jacobs hasn't signed that franchise tag yet, so he's technically still a free agent
Yeah.
at this moment right now. He's just, the Raiders are waiting for him to sign that deal. The problem is with that, though, the Raiders can't hold him accountable for anything. They
Yeah.
can't even fine him because he's not technically a part of the team here.
Yeah.
So we've talked about running back contracts, for the last couple of weeks here. If he ends up at one of these teams, this is the price tag of 4 years, around $51 million of an average of about $12 million a year.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of warranted. That's the reigning running back yards leader. He's 25 years old. He's not old. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
He's still young. So a 4-year contract wouldn't even take him into his 30s, to be honest with you. So, if being in the AFC West and knowing that the Chiefs are already loaded, you can't see him going to a division rival. You just can't.
I mean, it depends how it depends on what their expectations for this season really are. Do they, with a new coach and a new quarterback, really feel like they have an opportunity to play in the playoffs? And if they do, then yeah, they should go ahead and pay Josh Jacobs. However, here's the other thing of it. The other part of it, like I keep saying, they start to look more and more like Patriots West. And we've talked about the Patriots ad nauseum, and the one thing the Patriots don't do, no matter how good the player is they do not pay them. Okay, that's not the Patriot way. They're going to nickel and dime or offer one okay contract, but after that, once you start to get 26, 27, 28, once guys start getting older, those guys, we've seen guys get released from the Patriots roster. So I don't know what the intention truly is. And I don't know what the thought process or I don't know what the Raiders exactly what they're trying to do. So I'm kind of hard pressed to see how all of this plays out. So we'll see, man. I don't know. If it were me, there's no way I would let Josh Jacobs end up on the Kansas City Chiefs, because at that point I've got 5 more years of never sniffing the playoffs. I mean, I pretty much
never beaten the Chiefs.
Exactly. I pretty much handcuffed myself into the basement as maybe being a wild card team, maybe. And even then, who am I fighting with? I'm fighting with the Chargers and possibly a better Broncos team. You never know. And so I don't know, man. I think they should go ahead and sign them for that reason. Because if they do let him go and they just say, hey, well, we're just going to stick to our guns, this is it, and the guy ends up going to the Chiefs, I mean, good luck with that, dude. They might as well go ahead and, yeah.
Well, I mean, he's going to want to go to a contender.
Yeah.
And obviously the Chiefs are a pretty good contender, to say the least. But if the Raiders are going to let him walk, you've got to do everything in your power to make sure he does not walk to an AFC West team. Go. You got to get him out of at least the West. Let him stay in the AFC, where you're not going to have to see him 2 times. Only 1 time, maybe not entirely in the season. But you can't run that risk of him going to the defending champions. That's already a talented roster. You add a guy like Josh Jacobs, we're talking buying possibly a new, throne in the NFL when it comes to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They're right there knocking on the doorstep. They've been to 3 Super Bowls already.
Right.
And they've won 2 of them. So it's the small pieces that they're looking to add. but it's a hot spot for players to go to because they know they're going to get a shot at potentially winning a championship there. So why not take that risk?
Right. Yeah, man. We'll see how it plays out. Let's we're going to transition into another local team, the 49ers. So the 49ers also played. We talked about Jimmy G, who this is his old team. He got a chance to debut, and now we get to see his replacement, Brock Purdy, make his debut, and he looked pretty good. He made a couple of pretty snap passes. I saw one of them when he was on the move going to the left, threw to a guy also rolling to the left and hit him right on the money in between two defenders. So looked pretty accurate. They were missing, I believe, weren't they missing this? They were missing their starting left tackle, I think. In
They were missing
Trent Williams.
Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey yesterday.
So he was under pressure a little bit, but he, got the job done as far as what I could see, as much as you can expect from, one drive. They didn't get a touchdown. They kicked a field goal, but what the heck? The guy didn't look terrible. But there still is a quarterback battle out there. And anything on Brock Purdy before I move on to the all important backups.
No. I just feel like the Niners just lied about that injury because I mean he looked good for a guy coming off of some sort of elbow injury. Yeah. He looked like he was throwing the ball pretty good there. So something tells me the Niners are hiding a little bit of a piece of information that was pretty valuable.
Yeah.
But hey, to everyone's discretion, right? Yeah. So. Good for them.
Well, and it's possible it was an injury worse and bad enough for him not to play in the NFC Championship game, but maybe it just wasn't as bad as they originally thought. But Brock Purdy's the starter, folks. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's a question we don't have to answer, everyone. That thing is definite.
Right.
He is not getting replaced.
And if there are some Niner fans, feel free to drop in the chat. We do want to hear what you have to say. I'm curious if there's still any doubt left about the fact that Brock Purdy is going to be the starting quarterback for this season. As far as me and B are concerned, we've been saying the same thing for quite some time now. Once the guy won like 5 straight games, it was over. There was a lot of haters out there that were saying that, oh well, the kid's getting lucky or it's because of the defense. But when he showed up in that first playoff game, I think he showed that he was the real deal. So anyway, let's talk about the all important backups in a preseason game. That's where we are, folks. It's August. We got Darnold, and then we got Trey Lance. Both of them played fairly well. However, Trey lit it up, but this time I believe Trey he got the third shift in this game instead of the second shift. And so you can tell, I don't think you don't have to be a mind reader to tell that they're trying to figure out who the second string quarterback is going to be. They gave Trey all the starting time in the world in game 1. Sam Darnold came up behind him, and obviously Sam Darnold's experience. Trey Lance got some time as the third string, and he looked pretty good. But I don't know if that really means anything. I still think that there is a chance. There's opportunity for Trey Lance to be the backup. Absolutely. They'll probably have this last game where the starters will not play again, where they will finally make that decision. But I don't know. I guess it's still a little bit of a toss-up. One good game by Trey Lance, and Sam Darnold is just pretty basic backup quarterback consistent, the 2 games. What do you think, B?
You said that perfectly. Sam Darnold has played 2 games, and he's been consistent. That's what you're going to want to look for here. Trey Lance had 1 bad game, and you can argue with me all you want, but that was a bad first showing there. His second showing last night wasn't too bad. I think what's going to help Trey Lance is that he helped lead the team down the field for that game-winning field goal to win the game. And that's what you want to see out of your quarterback there, regardless of the third string, how you handle a 2-minute situation like that. And he handled it well. He got some big plays out of his receiving core. Smart decisions, too. Almost fumbled the ball, trying to position it for their field goal kicker. And you know what? We're going to talk about that 3rd-round pick for the Niners who's a kicker who has been missing field goals left and right now. And that is looking like the worst 3rd pick in the world
Did you just say 3rd-round kicker?
3rd-round kicker. That's what the Niners took in the 3rd round was a kicker. I think they called him Cash Moody or something like that.
Yeah.
And right now his kicks are bouncing because he missed two more field goals yesterday. But obviously hit the game winner. But that game winner just kind of slightly hooked in on the right side of the goalpost. So it's not like it was clean, and it was in the center of the hash or center of the field too. So he's got some stuff to work on because you can't be missing field goals or PATs, especially in the season there. But in all honesty, with Trey Lance, this final game on Friday night for the Niners, they're going to look at this is the evaluation game because they don't have a clear cut on who's going to be your number two. So
Right.
this
Exactly.
this game is going to identify a lot. I don't think you'll see Purdy. I think you may see the starters once again for one series, maybe just a little longer to get their feet wet. But in all honesty, you're going to have Sam Darnold. I think you should go out there and have Sam Darnold and Trey Lance throw to some of their skilled position players,
Yeah.
and let the better man win. This has been a good quarterback competition, but in all honesty, I think the Niners are probably going to go with Sam Darnold as that backup. They did it last year. Jimmy G was the backup to Trey Lance,
Yeah.
and it worked out for them until Jimmy got hurt.
Right.
I think you may see the same thing here. I think you may see Sam Darnold just win out this competition because then at least you've got a little more experience behind Brock Purdy in
Right.
case something is to happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, I completely agree with you, man. This last game is going to decide it. They'll figure out who the backup quarterback is. Um, I want to throw out there to mention this that the Raiders rolled out Hoyer out there, Brian Hoyer. Uh,
Oh, he's that talk about a journeyman.
I mean,
Jeez
man, I was so
Louise, dude.
surprised to see him on the field. I'm thinking Brian should be retired flipping burgers. I don't know. Like I didn't expect to see Brian Hoyer out there, who actually was the second. I think he got the second. He got the second string this time, and then I think Connell got the last. But in any case, sorry, I just wanted to bring that up. It's just funny. It's like Cade McCown. Remember Cade McNown? McNown.
Yeah, talk about a
Yeah, I
journeyman there
mean,
too. Jeez Louise, dude.
this guy's just pop up out of nowhere. 10 years later, it's like, what? This guy is still in the league. How is that even possible? Well, let's.
Hey, man,
So we're gonna stay with.
we all need backups.
Well, I guess you're right, man. I guess you're right. It's like it's like a good wrench. You just you just need one that works.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like a 10 mil
yeah,
socket.
exactly.
It's always going to be there in case you need it.
Oh man. All right. So let's stay in the NFL. We're gonna stick with the 49ers. So B, what's going on here? Apparently, Brock Purdy's out there busting his butt to score touchdowns, and the fans, the fans are in the stands
but
busting each other's butts at a home game. Why are they mad? I don't know what's going on here. B, tell me what happened. I'm trying to pull up or watch the video here. All I can see is some snippets.
a video surfaced. Dude, it wasn't actually good brawl. There's probably about, I think, 5, 6 people involved. At least fight the other team's fans. Like, don't go fighting yourselves. You know how dumb that looks? That
Yeah,
Niner fans are Niner fans? Like, how is this possible for the same damn team? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I know alcohol is a hell of a drink, and man, was it fun? But why is that cause you to go whoop your own team's fans' ass
right,
for? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all should be rooting for the same team. You're wearing the same damn
right.
colors. Now, if you go in there to look for a problem, that's a different
Yeah,
story. But the problem is during that fight, you saw Niner jerseys all over the
right.
place throwing
Yeah.
punches at each
Well, I
other.
mean, apparently these were the Trey Lance apologists fighting with the rest of them. Like I'm so used to seeing this whenever, like, for instance, you know how the Raiders and the Niners play each other every preseason, right? They always have for the most part, the better part of the past 10 years. And when the games were in San Francisco or in Oakland, you can always look forward to someone fighting in the stands. It was automatic. It was going to happen. But since the Raiders are in Vegas, nobody cares anymore. There's a lot of 49er fans there. And now,
That's just we didn't even talk about that.
yeah, there were a lot of Niners fans there. And now in a game, a game where you're at home, 49ers fans aren't even fighting with the opposing team's fans anymore. They're picking fights with one another, man. And I think hopefully they get a hold on this. And there's no reason to fight against your own fan base. 49er fans, I know there's a lot of people are confused about the type of fans the 49ers have. They are not wine drinking fans. That's only one portion of the fans. The rest of the rest of the fan base is a little crazy. Okay, they will throw down just like Raider fans will. So, oh man, yeah,
the Niner fans are in training camp mode right now because there's a lot of fights in training camp amongst you.
That's what it is. That's right. They're practicing.
The Niner fans are in training camp right now. Right. And look, we're only highlighting this because we're in the Bay Area and we see it. It goes on everywhere, but it's just for some reason every time we talk about it, it is surrounding Niner fans. So look, it happens in the NFL in all stadiums. It's just I don't know what y'all got to be about. You're going as one of the best team in the NFL, and you're going in there and punching each other in the face.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it just doesn't make sense.
Man. I don't know. the guy must have said something. I don't know what he said, but he said the wrong thing.
He said your mama's
That's
cooking
right.
is trash.
That's right.
Just Lance, and boy did that problem spark something. We don't know. We're just speculating. Who knows here? Yo, T, I don't know if you got a chance to see, but we had another game halted on Saturday. Stopped the rest of the game here due to an injury to cornerback Isaiah Bolden. Now, the team hasn't released as far as how severe the injury parted off the field. But what was the more interesting thing is it had a lot of players were saying that it had a Damar Hamlin feel to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I know we're looking out for the safety of our players and everything, but this is a little alarming. It's the second game that we've had where they said, "Hey, we don't feel safe as far as playing the rest of our hurt." How do you? I don't know if you got a chance to see it with these games coming to a stop here, as your camera's also coming.
Yeah, dude, I got it back, man. I had to unplug it and plug it back in. You know, folks, we're a grassroots organization. What that means is that we ain't got a lot, but what we do, we use to the best way we can. And my camera is completely wigging out. Hopefully, everybody can still hear me. So I'm just going to continue talking. No, I didn't get a chance to see it. I was trying to look it up, but obviously they generally don't show stuff like that on replay just because of, how tough it looks for the players. So I think it's just a part of football, unfortunately, and we are seeing it happen more and more. We had the thing with Tua, obviously, then the Hamlin situation. There have been some pretty scary moments over the past couple of years, and we're hoping that the NFL continues to monitor and figure out what they could do to make the game make the game as safe as they possibly can. And this goes right to the point of what we talked about with guys getting paid and the running backs and, contracts within the NFL. Folks, this is one of the only sports where you're really actually, you possibly, well, not the only, obviously you have combat sports like UFC and boxing, where you're possibly putting your life on the line. And I'm hoping that the next time they have a bargaining agreement, that they bring up some of these issues and make sure that guys actually can't get paid, and that they are and that folks are taken care of. Players are taken care of whenever facing scary situations like this, and don't feel the need to rush back on the field so that they can feed their families.
Dude, your camera is nowhere near wanting to rush back to get you back online.
I think we might be witnessing the final moments of this camera.
But so we're going to transition over to baseball, and I'm going to pick this up as T figures out his camera situation.
You can hear me. I'm still here.
He's still Perfect. Here. We're just going to let him kind of work through that little hiccup there. But we've got a real serious problem in Major League Baseball here. Now, Wander Franco is under investigation for an inappropriate relationship with a minor in the
God.
Dominican Republic here.
Not
And for
minor
those who
league,
don't,
folks. Not minor
yeah,
league.
not the minor leagues, a minor, someone who is under 18. I'm sure everyone knows that, but we just got to make sure we reiterate this.
Yeah.
This all came to public after a social media post circulated about a week ago with Wander is when he was in a relationship with a 17-year-old girl who filed a complaint against Wander.
Oh my
So
God, man.
this isn't something that has. It sounds like it's something that's been going on for Wander Franco here. And dude, you want to talk about a black eye that no sport needs right now?
Yeah.
This is one of them here. Baseball is picking up steam. They've got a lot of great young athletes here. And now, speaking of one of their young, great athletes, this is now coming to the forefront here. So, um, let me ask you this, T. Baseball have to do to try to save this because this is unprecedented. I've tried to find something even remotely close to something that they've had
Yeah.
to deal with this.
Right.
Can't find anything here.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Well, I think the first thing you have to do is you have to get in front of it. You don't want to wait around for things to sort of, transpire or more information to come out. I think they should make it their business to get out in front of it. They need to have a conversation with the player. If they after receiving the information or seeing what information and excuse me, what am I trying to say? Proof is out there, and if it's enough to warrant that, if it's enough for them to say, hey, you know what, this is not looking good, they should probably go ahead and suspend him now, or give him some type of indefinite suspension until they can figure out what's going on. The same type of thing they did with Ja Morant, where it was just like, well, you're suspended indefinitely while we investigate. But the best thing they can do is kind of get in front of it. That way, they're showing that when things like this happen, that they take them seriously. The NFL has had a hard time doing this with situations with abuse of women. It hasn't been very strong on some of those fronts. And so I think
Nope.
the MLB, this obviously is an egregious act, and they should get in front of it, and not wait around. That's all they need to do. Just get in front of it, suspend the guy, wait for the investigation to clear, and then play it as you go through the process. But for him to go back out on the field or stay on the field while this is going on, it's not a good look for the league.
No, and we probably if we see him on the field, then MLB handled this all wrong,
Yeah.
to say the least here. And MLB is going to have to come with a decision because as he is on this restricted leave, they got to come down with something a little more here. So MLB is going to make a decision this week on as far as what they're going to do. They could possibly place him on administrative leave, which is basically meaning you're not playing for a while here. The same thing happened with Trevor Bauer, and for Trevor Bauer, he was involved in a I mean, you could call it domestic violence. I think we'll call it there, but basically he roughed up a chick in the bedroom. He was suspended. He kept getting suspended, and then finally they said you're done with Major League Baseball. But this is something you can't let take no more than at the end of this week here.
Right.
Like you got to come down
Right.
on Wander Franco to send a message here, but. In a day and age where there's a lot of social media and there's just a lot of ways people can get stuff out, you got to be smarter than that, man. And I know I'm saying that to a 24-year-old, and we've all made the bad decisions in our 20s, but none of us has sat there and said, I'm going to date a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm going to date a 17-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to protect yourself. He had just signed an 11-year, $182 million deal. What are you doing?
Yeah, man. I mean,
doing any of that.
He would have been better off handling a weapon on Instagram Live.
By all means, he should have put himself in not Ja Morant, but Zion Williams' position. What are you doing?
Right. Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense. Obviously, you're a pro ball player. You have access, as most professional athletes do, to a majority of women. And it speaks to the fact that there's something wrong there. So obviously, this guy is gonna have. I mean, if it comes to fruition, he's gonna be in a heck of a lot of trouble. And the MLB, like we said, needs to get in front of it, suspend him now. That way, you don't have to sit and answer questions every single game when he's out there on the field.
Yep. Yep, and that press conference, you know how every time there is a championship, the commissioner, the owners, or the commissioner comes out and speaks on the state of the league. He better figure this out now, because if he doesn't, that's going to be some very hard questions to ask at that podium during the World Series.
You better believe it.
Manfred, you got a lot of work to do. This sucks because baseball has been very entertaining to watch. My team, not so much recently. I really don't want to talk about them. But just in general, like baseball's the blackest eye you could think of is now just surfaced for baseball, and this is the last thing they should ever have expected from a player, especially one of up and coming there.
And we got a comment from JJ. Doesn't he have friends that tell him not to be stupid? Yeah, JJ. I mean, when you're rich, your friends are probably just saying yes to everything most of the time. Really, if you know, especially if they're just entourage type friends. And not only that, JJ, but I mean, what's the legal age be? 18, right?
18.
What the hell what is he? I mean, what are you doing? The girl's 7. I mean,
what? Like, come on.
Like, what? You
ain't got to go after an 18-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, you 24, 11 years, $182 million, and that's the route that you want to go down. Like, that don't make no sense, man. I mean,
my man got that R. Kelly bug, man. He need to go get that checked out,
And the problem is this is the same thing that's happening with Ja Morant right now, is that those two are breadwinners. Whoever they're breadwinners, and the people supporting that breadwinner aren't going to sit there and go, hey, man, you should probably do that. Because you know why? Because you're probably writing checks out to his homeboys, friends, whoever the case may be. They're not going to say anything to jeopardize their check coming to them, So why would you say anything? You're going to support them. But you got to know, this ain't supportive, man. This is downright awful.
Right. No, it's stupid. It's stupid. And again, like you said, it's a black guy. And, man, I got to tell you, it ain't a good look. So hopefully the league MLB gets in front of it, suspends the guy while the investigation goes on. And, we got drunk. Go ahead, B.
Drunk coming in and says, y'all talking about Wander Franco? I just got here. Yep. Yes, we are talking about Wander Franco, because this is a story and a half, to say the least. So, Drunk, you got anything you want to chime in on Wander Franco? Go ahead and chime in. We're going to touch on another baseball subject, a little more lighter, to say the least. So, T, when any player gets called up into the major leagues and makes his debut, the biggest thing that they can ever do, obviously, is one, get to the show, but two, get a hit in the show. And the Cardinals shortstop Mason Wynn collected his first major league hit. Big celebration, right? So what baseball will do is they will collect the ball so the player can get that ball and either give it to his parents, stow it, whatever the case may be. All ended up in Pete Alonso's hand of the New York Mets, standing on first. And Pete Alonso came out and said, I didn't know that was his first hit, and proceeded to yeet the ball into the stands to give to the crowd instead of giving it to the New York Mets.
He should have punched him at that point.
And so he took a lot of heat for it. Pete Alonso did apologize twice to the young kid, and they finally got the ball back to him. And everything was good there. But the more of the story is know your position, know what the situation. He got a standing ovation when he got that first hit. You know what I'm saying? So give the ball. Yeah. And people were telling him to give him the ball.
I mean, yeah, maybe like you said, it's probably just a brain fart. But yeah, obviously to that guy, that's a huge moment for him. And I'm wondering what the conversation went like with the fan, though. I mean, do you think that, obviously the fan gave it back. But what happens in the situation? This could have been a much better story if the fan was just like, nah, I'm not giving it back.
Hey, are you willing to, you know what, if it was me, I'd have been like, what are you guys willing to trade for this ball right here?
Exactly. Well, how much is this ball worth? How much is this ball worth to you? How much? I need $10K right now. I'll give you this ball. Don't worry about it.
Write that check, please. Write it out.
Right, that's right. That's right. No, I'm glad they didn't hold him for ransom. And it was unlike the 49er fans. This fan, loves the sport, the game enough to do the right thing.
We got a few more comments. Jesse, welcome to the chat here. Good to see you, man. Jesse says on Wander Franco, he's a good-looking dude, superstar ball player, and hella rich. Major mental immaturity there. Dude, this is like the definition of what not to do with that there. And Drunk comes in and says, I don't condone it at all. But the age limits be questionable in different countries. Only excuse I can make for him. Dominican Republic still 18 and over, man.
Yeah, man.
Can't mess with it. Now, there are certain states out here that protect minors when it comes to dating an adult, but the Dominican doesn't have that. They do not mess with that over there. So the fact that he did it in a place where he's not protected, this is just going to make things so much more worse for him when he goes back home. And I'll tell you this, I've never been to jail, but I know people in jail really don't take too light to predators like that, to say the least. And who knows what's going to come out now, because we're only getting the surface. We do have no idea what is brewing underneath that. This is about to be a volcano that just erupts.
Yeah. He definitely needs to go get some help. Like I said, major mental immaturity. Go and go get some therapy or something. Figure it out. I don't know. Find you a Selena Gomez or Ariana Grande. They don't ever get past 13, so whatever.
Hey man, chicks did the long ball. Just you gotta know your
age limits.
Crowd, man. Jesus. And then Drunk says season tickets for the ball is on eBay tonight. I might have hightailed it. I've been playing hide and seek with that kid's first hit. You gotta come find me.
Exactly.
But some people have given up. Players have given up bats. They've given away signed jerseys. A little meet and greet with the players there. So
it was. A little autograph.
It was nice. Little autograph or something, but it's nice that he got it back. And he is actually he's a pretty talented prospect. He threw like over 100 miles an hour across the diamond. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, but, you don't find that. That's a young generation right there. So, lot of hope for him there. But we're glad that he got the ball back there. Yep. And everyone who's in and looking to tune into the show, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and tune in every Sunday night like you're doing right now.
Yep. My camera is still busted. I may never come back again. I'm trying, folks, but it was working earlier, I promise, but now it is not, and it appears to have died. So, yes, B. Yes, the NBA. Moving into the NBA. Go ahead, man. I'll let you take that.
Let's just as much as we've ripped Kevin Durant, let's now focus on one additional player. And by that is the name of James Harden. James Harden recently went public and called Daryl Morey, the owner, the president of the 76ers, called him a liar. Said he never wants to be a part of an organization that, as long as he's associated with them. And this is coming off the heels of the 76ers saying, we're not trading you, you're reporting to training camp. And he was in Asia promoting in China and literally did this in front of a camera. And now the NBA is investigating this because this is bad, because this is not something you're supposed to be doing, to say the least here. So, look, James Harden has been traded multiple times during the regular season. He's found himself on more teams in an actual NBA season. I'm getting tired of him getting this kind of treatment. I'll let you rip him first before I get into it. T, take it away, my man.
Well, I mean, it all starts with the fact that James Harden, when left alone and being given the ranks of being the number one guy on the team, well, he didn't get it done. I mean, we already saw this movie. He took the money to go to Houston, could have stayed with the Thunder, but I don't blame him. He was a young guy. Take the money. He went to Houston. He won some scoring titles. He was definitely up there on the MVP list every single year, an offensive genius. He's getting towards the tail end of his career, and he started to see that, well, it wasn't going to work. It kind of surprises me he's so mad at Daryl Morey, seeing as how he's worked for the guy before. This is the first time they've been together. And I don't think it's his fault that you're not winning championships, James, because when you were in Houston, they brought over Dwight Howard at one point, which maybe that didn't work. They brought over, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook. It just did not work. They couldn't get past the Warriors like every other team that was in that division. So I don't know what he's so sad about. You weren't getting past that team. And then now and then what he did was he pouted and moaned and complained and cried his way out of Houston. He moaned and complained and cried out of the Brooklyn situation, which was a cluster. I'll give him that. And now he's doing it again after only 1 year of playing with the 76ers. Not only that, but this team had an opportunity to get to the finals. This team had an opportunity to compete and got pretty far through the playoffs. It's just that him and Embiid completely crapped on themselves in Game 6. And then once they got to Game 7, it was all Boston. So I mean, I'm curious about why these guys are so upset about coaches, management. You guys are on the floor. You had an opportunity to win the series in 6 games. You didn't get the job done. You're Joel Embiid. Nope. You're James Harden. People have put you up on these pedestals for you to win games because you are supposedly some of the best players in the NBA. But when it came time to be clutch, your nuts were not there. So why are we talking about Daryl Morey? Daryl Morey. Does anybody know that Michael Jordan hated the crap out of his general manager pretty much the last 5 years of his career? But he won a championship just about every one. Come on, guys. It's not about your management. Get the job done on the floor. Stop bringing us into your little pissy fits with your manager or your boss or whatever. We don't want to hear about it. You're the guy that's making the money. You're the guy that's out there on the floor actually putting the ball through the rim. Focus on that, man. Seriously. I don't want to hear it, James. I don't want to hear it.
No, we're done with you at this point here. You're at the point in your career where you're trying to you're bouncing around now. You look like Kevin Durant trying to get another title. And like I said, Kevin Durant had a good situation, decided to leave it there. But look, James Harden, you're what you did in Houston was your best time.
Yeah.
All right. You weren't the same in Brooklyn. You found a little bit of hope in Philadelphia, but as T said, we're not the ones on the court. You are.
Right.
You choked in Game 6. You choked in Game 7. That's your fault. And now you're mad at management for what? Because you guys couldn't advance. And Doc Rivers is a great coach, by the way. All right. Yeah. And they ran his ass out of Philadelphia. And now look at the coach you have now.
Nick Nurse.
It's not a Doc Rivers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they had every opportunity to right this ship and say, hey, let's go ahead and get better. But no, let's not. Now you have a point guard or shooting guard or a guy who is now average in the league in my books to say, I don't want to be there no more. You know what? Just cut ties with him, man. Just let him go. Let him be another team's problem. But you're almost irrelevant now, James Harden. You don't have a ring. You couldn't get it done past the Warriors. You couldn't get it done in the East. Yeah. That was a great team when he got to the East with Brooklyn. And they couldn't do anything. They had their own problems to figure out.
Yeah, but for him to go from that situation to an even better one with the 76ers and then pretty much farting everybody's dinner doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you think about it, think about the team he had around him with Tyrese Maxey. And you had Milton coming off the bench. You got you've got Embiid on the floor.
Halliburton.
Yeah, they brought on PJ Tucker. You've got oh man, why am I listed on this game? Their power forward, who unfortunately
I know Tobias Harris.
You got Tobias Harris. You got talent everywhere. And for you to sit up and complain and mope about, oh, he lied to me. What did he lie to you about? About being a better player in the playoffs? Because you haven't been able to do that in the past 5 years, James. Like he's continually been a below par playoff player, and we've seen that time and time again. And so I don't want to hear Joel Embiid grab a mic and say, "Oh, he gotta play better. He gotta play better." Nobody cares because you also need 5 treadmills and less sandwiches so that you can play a fourth quarter. There are issues that this team has, but my point being is they can work through them. They can work through them. Okay, just play one more season and compete.
They just choose not
Yeah,
to.
it's
So,
ridiculous.
drunk coming in. I've been saving this take for y'all. Stream AAU ball in Houston started with James Harden. And now he's not even in Houston no more. But I mean, dude,
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know what to
he
say
could
to
go
it.
back to Houston if he wants to, man. That's great. It's not going to win anything because it's not any easier in the West. So I mean, he might as well stay where he is. The only team that's going to be, he's got two teams to worry about. He's got the Bucks and he's got the Celtics. You know, he can come over here if he wants to and play with a bunch of junior league diaper babies with the Houston Rockets
Forget
ball
about the
club.
Heat.
The Rockets are too busy
Don't.
humping each other. You really want to join that team?
I saw. Oh,
So I mean, what good is James Harden going to do there? I mean, seriously. So I don't know, man. He's wasting his own time at this point. He might as well go ahead and call it a career, or go and be somebody's backup on a team that's already competing.
absolutely here. And we haven't even talked about the Rockets humping each other on the couch there.
Yeah, no, dude,
Mama Birdie coming in,
terrible.
saying, Mom listening from Sacramento. Hope you're staying cool out there. Tashi's not that far from you.
Oh yeah, I'm
Um,
not far. I'm out here.
she's in Elk Grove right
I
now.
am.
So
I
she's
also am in. Oh, that's where I live.
and Kane. Kane, we
Uh-oh.
haven't seen you in a while,
Oh, we
man.
better we
Hello,
better tone
Kane.
it down there. My bad.
Yeah, we better stop cussing now.
My bad.
Man,
Thank you, Mama Birdie, for
God bless America.
warning
Yeah,
us.
thanks for telling us before we got ourselves in trouble there. Let's talk. The NBA season announced their schedule.
Yeah.
4 teams have way too many games on national television, mine included. The Warriors are going to lead the league in national television games with half of their season at
Oh
41
man.
games on national television, and that is ESPN, ABC, TNT, and NBA TV. We're going to see them way too many times. The Lakers and Suns both have 40 games each, and then the Celtics are at 34 to round out the top 4 teams who are going to be exposed way too much on national television.
Yeah.
So, T, you're rocking your Lakers shirt.
Nobody
What
can see it,
game-
but yes, I
What
am.
matchup? Oh, that's right. My bad. I forgot about that. Your camera's still.
Oh man.
Everyone, he's got a Lakers shirt with the number 10 on it. But T, what
The
matchup
Nat
are you
special.
looking forward to the most out of the Lakers?
Well, the matchup. I mean, dude. To be honest with you, I there isn't one. I guess that stands out. Honestly, I got to look at the schedule. I didn't really, as a Laker fan, I really don't care who we're playing at this. We just need to win games. If you've been a longtime Lakers fan, you already know you're going to be playing on Christmas. You already know you're going to be playing opening day. You already know that you're going to be playing on any Martin Luther King. The Lakers are going to be playing every single big game that there is. The fact of the matter is I want to see us against the Suns because the Suns have this makeshift Brooklyn Nets type roster that they are, that we don't know how good they're going to be. But, I'm looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to all Laker games, folks. I mean, we've got a nice young team. Not only is it LeBron and AD, but you got Austin Reeves to take a look at, watch him play. You've got an inconsistent D'Lo that's going to put up 5 points one game and put up 30 another game. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun watching this Laker team because they're a lot younger than they were about a year and a half ago. But yeah, I'm gonna say the opener. Well, not the opener, but the first home game against the Phoenix Suns is definitely going to be must-see TV. Avery Bradley, KD. If these guys even play, Devin Booker, we never know. KD might. What did he do last time where he just went up for a layup and blew a tire? I mean, we never know what can.
Oh, during warm-ups.
You never know. So that's what I'm looking forward to as far as the opener. I think we got you guys on. Do we got you guys on Christmas? Who do we got? Let's see.
You guys got the Celtics.
Ooh, that's a good game. We got the Celtics on Christmas. Yep. That's going to be a great drama. When do we play the Warriors?
The Warriors.
That's the important.
Not soon enough.
No, not soon enough. Good grief. How far do I have to go down the schedule to find the Warriors game? Not that far from each other. It's taking so long.
Well,
it's in January. In January. Good God. So, yeah, we don't play.
Oh, on ABC. Yeah. It's on ABC too.
Yeah.
Go figure.
So we get the first Saturday game, after, once the NFL finally dies down. So we get that Saturday spotlight on ABC against the Warriors on January 27th. So by that time we'll be getting into the NFL playoffs. But yeah, man, it's kind of surprising that we don't play you guys until January. What's that about?
You save the ass whooping for another time. There, at least we'll
Oh,
let you
watch
guys
out!
get a
Watch
few
out!
wins before that takes place.
Watch out!
um, for the Warriors, I know that it's pretty cut forward. It's not the Washington Wizards. We care 2 cents less about that team.
That's who you guys open
Because
against.
we open against the
Oh,
Suns.
okay. So the Suns got
And that's what I'm looking
the
forward
Suns
to.
got y'all than us. Okay.
Every single matchup with the Suns is what I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to. Klay Thompson, Devin Booker issue. You got Draymond versus KD, Draymond versus Bradley Beal, to say the least. So that's 4 times. I am looking forward to all four of those matchups.
CP3's former team. Don't forget that.
against that old team there. So I'll take the Suns and Warriors all 4 games here. I cannot wait for that there. And basketball, once that season comes out, basketball's right around the corner.
Yep.
Because the NFL takes a month and then the NBA follows right behind it there.
I can't wait. Can't wait. It's gonna be a fun-filled time, full of sports. My family is not gonna be happy once the NBA season starts. See, because football is just once a week, but basketball is every other night.
Do you have that picture of
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray?
Man, hold on.
You got the picture?
I'll let you talk about it while I look for it. Let me see if I can find it.
So athletes nowadays, folks, are wearing these little tight support bras. I don't know what they're for.
Are they? Or is it just
used
him?
in a lot of training. But anyways, Kyle Murray was pictured looking like a treat for some people, to say the least. There. You shouldn't look.
Oh man.
Main point is, dude. I don't know what these little support bras are for the guys when it comes to the training, but I've seen Steph Curry wear them. Obviously, we've seen Kyle Murray wear them, and it's a lot during warm-ups, during shoot-around, whatever the case may be. Do you know what this thing is called, T?
Dude, I have no idea, man. He has one that says catapult on the front of it, but what I'm curious about is what is the point? Is there a reason? Like, is it supposed to offer some type of additional support? And believe me, don't get me wrong, I've been joking about this for a while now. I mean, when you around your homies and you got that thing on, I mean, you better come up with some type of excuse. I mean, it's better back support. There's better. So I'm looking for what the deal is, the spiel, that is supposed to make that it's got players walking around wearing these, which look to be halter tops. Around the NBA, or no, sports bras around the NBA, or around the NFL, excuse me, or in sports in general, because I'm confused, and
so what this is it's a state-of-the-art GPS tracking system for football, which means total distance, sprint distance, top speed, and even identifies overload, which can cause injuries. Would you need to wear a training bra for that for? Come on, man! This is taking analytics to a whole different level.
They could do that without it looking like that. You could wear a whole thing from your neck down that could do the same thing. You just make the compression in the right areas. So I mean, they got to give me a little bit more information in that, because that's. I'm sorry, man, and I'm not trying to be rude, folks, but. I'm sorry, if you're walking out there like that on a football field.
Kyle Murray had
how's the rest of your team feeling right now? Did the Cardinals feeling better about Kyler Murray now that he's got this sports bra on?
You know who could have used that was Bill Belichick one time in that picture.
You know what?
He could have definitely.
Now there's a use. There's where they could have put that thing to use, man. That now we're talking. Because Bill was having some frontal, he's having some problems. Oh man, I'm trying to find a picture.
That old age is showing, to say the least. There, they're going south instead of north. But look, in the what the hell is going on moment, this is what the hell is going on moment. He should have had some sort of undershirt on, to say the least. Was not a pretty look for him. Why do male athletes wear bras? Why is that my Google search? Well, they wear them in order to read their GPS data.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. But whoever made that thing, they're gonna have to come up with some with some better looking designs than that, because that is that right there. That ain't it, man. That ain't it.
So if you haven't had a chance, Google it.
Yeah,
Kyrie
I'm having
or
trouble.
Kyle Murray catapult one vest. That, and you'll see what we're talking about as we're going through it.
Yeah.
But T, I got some exciting news, man.
What's that?
So next week obviously is the final week of the preseason. So we will be having our NFL prediction show where we are going to make some off the wall predictions for the NFL season. And trust me, they're probably not going to come true. But why not? We're not experts. We just like to have fun doing it.
I finally got it up. There we go.
You got it there?
I'll
wait for it to pop up there. But as that image shows up, I do want to make an announcement. B&T is going to have their first ever giveaway. So we're going to promote it at the show here. You will be asked a question, and the response is oh, Jesus, there's the picture.
Oh, man.
Woo!
I don't know, guy. I don't know,
I said, looking like a treat for some people. I'm not going to say much, but, man, he was looking like a little Hershey Snickers or Hershey Kiss there.
Whoa!
But
oh, my
gosh,
man.
back to our giveaway here. We will be giving this away. It is a DeAndre Swift new Eagles signed jersey, authenticated right there on the bottom. We'll go ahead and lay out the details later this week on how you could win a DeAndre Swift autographed jersey here, whether you're an Eagles fan, you're a Lions fan, or you're just a DeAndre Swift fan. This has the opportunity to be yours next week here. So we'll give you guys all the information going into next week, so you can win yourself a nice little jersey.
See now, folks, that's exciting. See, because we're for the people, and now we're trying to give back to the people. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to have you jump through some hoops, but we definitely want to keep folks tuned in, and we definitely want to give something out to folks to really show how much we appreciate you sticking with us, and as we're continue to offer you normal guy, regular dude banner. Okay, again, like always, banter. I always say it. We've got full-time jobs, folks. We're not sitting.
And by the way, folks, if you're watching this isn't T's profile picture.
Whoa.
Let's pump the brakes. I know his camera wasn't working, but this is Kyle Murray, okay?
See, I didn't even say all that. No, man, you won't catch me wearing anything that looks remotely like a woman's bra. See, you know what he looked like? He looked like every other WNBA player I've seen. Don't he look like that? That's the same thing that Brittany. That's the same thing.
Man,
Brittany Griner.
I didn't know Brittany
Griner wear that same thing. The only difference is she was smart enough to put a jersey over the damn thing. She at least put a jersey on. What's Kyler Murray's excuse?
They look into a little more of these concussion things. They got players acting out of control in these things, man.
Oh man. If he call any play that start with sweet, tooty, or fruity, I'm gonna have to ask some questions. All right,
man.
Well, let's not get ourselves in trouble here. Oh man.
Oh well, I mean we said it already.
You're right. Yeah, okay. I'm anonymous anyway. I can't be seen anymore.
Right? I don't know. Not me so much.
Oh man, well, folks, that's trying to go back to the chat. Looks like everybody has chimed in. Take time to thank everybody. Thank you, Mama Birdie, Drunk, Jesse, JJ. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for dropping a comment in. We appreciate creating a conversation. That's what we thrive on, is being able to go back and forth with you guys. Anything else we got, B? I think that was it.
No, I think that's it, man. I can't wait. We get the NFL prediction show next week. So come and join us. Make some wild predictions, because I'm gonna tell you, I got some stuff that's about to be off the wall when it comes to.
Oh, man, here we go. So you got Kyler Murray winning MVP? Is that what you're trying to say?
For the WNBA.
Oh. Oh man, that's bad. All right.
You got anything?
No, that's it, man. Thanks everybody for joining. Don't forget to like the video. Please like our videos, and then also subscribe if you haven't already. hit the notification button as well. Again, we appreciate y'all's time, and we will see you next week. All right, peace.